Hello everyone, I welcome you to this course and I hope you're going to learn a lot from it. My name is Dr. Jane Nyakang'o. I'm the director of the Kenya National Cleaner Production Center. I'm also the president of the African Roundtable on Sustainable Consumption and Production for the next 2 years. As you know, the manufacturing sector is key to the growth of our economies, and in most countries contributes between 10 and 15% of the GDP. Manufacturing comes with its impact. Manufacturing industries consume resources, water, raw materials, and energy. Enhancing efficiency means that the conversion of the raw materials into the desired outputs should be as high as possible. But you find that maybe 20 to 30% of what goes into the production process is lost in the environment, then our industries will not be competitive enough and give us the quality products that can meet the demands, the consumers' demands. I'll immediately think one of the resource efficiency programs that has been implemented across African countries is one that deals with the water efficiency in the beverage industry. This project has been implemented in several countries like Egypt, Ghana, Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda, and the results have been impressive in terms of reducing the water consumption and consequently the wastewater generation. Now, agriculture in the first place, all of Africa, it contributes about 65% of the employment, and mostly in the rural areas, and it involves very small-scale farmers that really are all involved in this, making it very inclusive as an economic activity. Besides giving about 65% of the employment, about 32% of the GDP in Africa is contributed by the agriculture. Unfortunately, for Africa, is that the factors of production, if you look at the land, if you look at labor, has actually not improved in tandem with the increasing population. That the productivity levels of the land is much lower compared, for example, to Asia. That means, therefore, that we have to enhance the productivity of our land. We need new skills and new technologies, farming technologies, that actually can make our farming much more climate resilient and which can give us more yield per hectare or per acre than we currently are getting. So if you look at like now climate smart agriculture, it means that we need to align the agricultural production to the changing climate so that we are able to grow crops that can mature at the shortest time possible because the season's getting shorter. So high yielding, short maturing, high yielding agricultural crops, shifting more to drought tolerant crops, like what we really departed from, what we used to have, like the orphan crops like these, the potatoes and the millets. But also we need incentives in the form of how do we give startup capital to young people who are graduating from universities and are not getting employment. But also we need more training for them so that they are appraised of the new farming methods. If you go to Sierra Leone, for example, we have the government has a policy where they are setting up agricultural business support centers where farmers are trained all the way, from the type of farming methods that they use all the way the marketing and actually the consumption. And that has enabled the farmers to come together in terms of groups and take advantage of that and cut off the middlemen, making more earnings available to the farmer. That can be replicated in many other countries. So the role of policy would be to assist either in terms of soft intervention in terms of information and training, but also it would support in terms of giving incentives for the kind of technologies that would be required to shift from unsustainable consumption and production to more sustainability. We have a lot of case studies that have been documented, a lot of pilot studies and demonstrations that have been implemented. And these ones would need to be properly documented, disseminated, and actually inform policy. Which kind of policies I'm talking about? We know that there are certain practices that would enhance the production of sustainable products and services, like labeling, eco-labeling, standardization, and or also having benchmarks and production codes that really the businesses would have to adhere to. And that is something that we have seen has worked, for example, in the horticultural industry in Kenya. But also we have some market imbalances, like subsidies. We currently have subsidies on inorganic fertilizer. That is actually perpetuating an unsustainable production, because it makes inorganic fertilizer much more readily available to the farmers than it otherwise could. Whereas in the short term, it is viewed as a benefit to the farmers. In the long run, to the environment and to business, it is not good. So slowly shifting from, instead of giving subsidies to this kind of inputs, to actually giving incentives for the use of more sustainable inputs like organic manure, would enable us to move towards sustainability, but also to capture other markets which we are not able to access right now. Dear participants, I want to wish you a very good session in the coming days. I request you to listen to everything that is being said by the facilitators. I encourage you to discuss a lot. That's how we ourselves have learned. I also ask questions where you could, and do all the assignments. That's the only way you will learn. And I'm sure at the end of this, you are going to be very good sustainable consumption and production practitioners. Thank you and goodbye.